Hey guys, what's up? It is Skullflag44 here, bringing you another Black Ops 2 commentary where I'm not going to be talking about the gameplay. Honestly, if I could have something other than this, I would. But this is all I have right now. I could just do like a blank screen or a picture or something, but I figure I still have this gameplay, so might as well use it. We've got some other gameplays too, but I haven't transferred them over to my computer, so this is the last one that's all ready to go. But what I'm going to be talking about is the Seattle Seahawks, who just beat the Washington Redskins in the wild card round of the playoffs, and it was an awesome game. So I'm just going to be kind of ranting on Seahawks stuff. This is something that I'm really interested in, and since the Seahawks have been doing really well, it's been kind of making me more and more interested in, to the level where it's like I'm completely addicted to the Seahawks, and it's more than just the team and the sport, I guess. It's like the players I know on some level, kind of like a YouTube thing, but a little different. There is a YouTube channel called the Real Rob Report, which I will try to remember to put in the description, or you can just search it on YouTube, Real Rob Report, and that shows the Seahawks locker room by their fullback Michael Robinson. He does a little show and goes and talks to the players and shows kind of like a cool connection, and you get to see their personalities and all that. It's pretty fun to watch, and I always enjoy it, and especially mostly after a win. They've won 6 straight games now, so I've kind of progressively gotten more into Seahawks stuff. I've always been a big Seahawks fan, but as they won and become better, and as I kind of begin to learn more about the game and get familiar with all the players and stuff, it's just been good. So I don't always, like, after a loss, I kind of just put the Seahawks out of my head, or really any sports team that I follow. After the loss, I don't want to read anything like, oh, what they did wrong, what they could have done better. I don't want to listen to anything like it's listen to any podcasts, but since they've been winning, it's been great. And also, like I talked about before in my last Black Ops 2 commentary, I think, Seahawks have been winning, and that's gotten me in a great mood for the rest of the week, and the past few weeks have been awesome too. So that's another good thing. I feel like if they win the Super Bowl, that means like the rest of my life is going to be awesome. Not that it couldn't be if they lose it, but it's like almost, a guarantee. Or at least that's kind of what I'm telling myself. I don't know, it's some of those things. It's kind of like if you believe it, then it comes true. Like I could probably tell myself, oh, if they lose this week, then I'll be in a better mood. Maybe that'll go that way. Probably not as easily, but that you kind of get the point there. So anyway, getting into the game today, they were playing the Washington Redskins. It was a big matchup between Robert Griffin III, the second overall pick, and Russell Wilson, the 75th overall pick. Robert Griffin, he was really hyped up coming out of college. The Washington Redskins traded a lot of draft picks to go move up 4 spots to get him. He was also, it was Andrew Luck, who was drafted first overall out of Stanford, and RG3 drafted out of Baylor, that were kind of like the 1-2 combo, the easy picks in the draft. Everyone knew they were going to be good. They had the starting job secured right when they were drafted, and everyone expected them to have a great season, and they did. Both of them made the playoffs, but both of them lost today. And then Russell Wilson, drafted in the 3rd round. I remember when we drafted him, it was after we had signed Matt Flynn, and I was like, I didn't see that pick coming, but I was like, all right, the 3rd round is a weird place to draft a quarterback, because he's a guy that's done well, but isn't necessarily going to be your guaranteed starter, or even the next year. It's like more of a solid backup choice. It's weird. Usually, you can definitely 1st round, that's pretty much your guaranteed starter, and then in the 2nd round, maybe like 1 year later or later in the season starting. And then 3rd round, it's kind of just, you don't know what you're going to get. And the 4th round is more developmental, and along with 5th, 6th, 7th. 7th, I guess, is more of a long term. Than undrafted, it's a really long term. So you just kind of get to move back, how long it's going to take for this guy to be a potential starter. And Russell Wilson came to the league, was saying all the right things. He looked good, but the big problem was why he didn't get drafted in the 1st round was because he is a 5'10" and 5'8" inches quarterback, more like probably 5'10", because they try to raise the height numbers, raise or lower, whichever way they they want him, but he goes at 5'11", was what they officially list him at. I think, or what he prefers to be listed at. So the smallest quarterback in the league, smallest as far as height. Weight, he's like 200 pounds, I think, so he's, solid weight. I don't know what the smallest weight is, but height is the big deal. But he has a high release point in his delivery and plays bigger than that. So it was a really interesting choice because everyone kind of assumed that Matt Flynn would be the starter going into the season. They said some things like he's going to have to win the job. It's not going to be given to him, but that was kind of like okay, sure, we don't know how real that is. But then Russell Wilson came into the season, did all right in the training camps and stuff, didn't do amazing, but did enough to hang around. And then in the preseason games, he did enough to earn a start, he didn't do anything too crazy, but he showed enough flashes to earn a start. And then he kind of did more than Matt Flynn did. Matt Flynn didn't do anything wrong, but Russell Wilson just edged him out. And they decided to go with Russell Wilson to start the season, which a lot of people were like, you're crazy, that's insane. But it turned out really well. The first 4 games were pretty bad. He didn't do terrible, but he didn't do great. And then after that, in the second half of the season, he just turned it on. And that's why he's one of the strong candidates for Rookie of the Year. And if Rookie of the Year is a postseason award, but if they could have saw the game today, where Luck and Wilson and RG3 were eliminated, and Alfred Morris was kind of another Rookie of the Year candidate for the Redskins, all eliminated, then Russell Wilson is pretty clear, pretty clear choice. Not like he would be unanimous or anything, but I think he'd get the majority. But I would guess it would go to RG3 because that's more of a easy pick for the media. Russell Wilson is more of a dark horse, but anyway, fun to watch. So the Seahawks were favored going into this game, and by 3 points or so, but they would have to go on the road, and the Seahawks aren't a very good road team and are an excellent home team. They didn't lose a game this season at home. So we knew it was going to be a tough game. I was expecting, I don't know, the thing about RG3 is that he was hurt, and so you didn't know what you were going to get out of him, if he was going to be superstar, if he was fully recovered, or if he was still limping around. Turned out he looked all right at the beginning, but was still kind of limping. And then he got some plays where the Seahawks actually didn't hit him or anything to cause the hit, but like the field where they were playing is just terrible, and so he lost his footing a few times and just kind of stumbled out and kind of messed up his leg a bit. But it got out to a terrible start for the Seahawks. We got down 14-0 because the Redskins just drove down the field and their offensive line was overpowering us, and it was just battle around. We looked completely lost. And on offense, we just had one chance and we went 3 and out. But then we started to get going. We got a big pickup by Zach Miller, like plucking the ball off the ground and then getting a first down, able to get a field goal, and then stop them, then able to get a touchdown. And then, I think I was just looking at the gameplay, and there was like a little 12 for the 12th man. I see a lot of like Seahawk related stuff on Black Ops because I'm in Seattle, and so you get a lot of people from there. I saw someone with the gamer tag Richard Sherman, who's a Seahawk player and one of the best players on our team, probably the best cornerback in the league too. So, a little side note, it wasn't him though because he was in Washington D.C. and there's too strong of a connection. And he had like 10 friends on Xbox Live. But I made sure I checked it out because if it was him, I was definitely gonna do something with that. I don't know what I would do, but got off to a bad start. Then we got a touchdown, so it was 10-14, but the Redskins were still leading. And then our kicker got hurt, and so that was like a problem because we're gonna need some field goals to be made in order to do this. This is gonna get interesting. I mean, our kicker isn't great in the first place. Like he's a solid kicker from like 50 yards down, but he can't hit like a 53-yarder, which is kind of like the standard. You want your kicker to be able to hit that. So I hope we draft a kicker in the draft and get this guy out of here. But he did good. He toughed it out, and then he kicked a field goal, so it was 13-14. And then we kind of struggled there. We lost a fumble at like the 1-yard line. But then we got a big touchdown drive. Marshawn Lynch rushed it in, and then Redskins fumbled. RG3 got hurt, and we were able to seal the deal. So now we're going to Atlanta next week, a 9:30 game, or 9:30 for Pacific time and like 12:30 Eastern time, so it's gonna be a tougher game. Should be pretty fun to watch, and I will see you guys next time.